Greetings to my students. Welcome to my video. Today we will study Big Data, Big Insights, lesson number 4 from your textbook. Let us first understand what is Big Data. There is a revolution in lifestyle of people which has been affected by big data. Our food habits, our healthcare, our traveling, our scientific pursuits, you name it, and everything has changed 360 degrees. The massive data available with us can really work wonders. Friends, do you know what happens when we like a post on Facebook or share a post on WhatsApp? Visit any website, make online purchases, or watch videos. Yes, whatever activity we do online is recorded, monitored, and analyzed. So, a huge amount of data is collected. Let me give you an idea of how huge the data might be. Big data can be petabytes or exabytes of data consisting of billions to trillions of records of millions of people, all from different sources. For example, web, sales, customer contact center, social media, mobile data, and so on. The data available to industries and companies is enormously increasing in volume, variation, velocity, and value. Such a big data is easy to obtain, but so massive that it challenges the current computing technologies, and hence big data analytics is used to give insights that were previously incomprehensible. Big data analytics is the complex process of examining large and varied data sets or big data to uncover information such as hidden patterns, unknown correlation, market trends, and customer preferences. With such a huge data available with the industries, they can have innumerable advantages. Hence, all the industries are trying to reap the maximum benefit from it. Many industries have advanced by miles from their competitors. It is not the amount of data that is important, but what the organizations do with the data is what matters. Now that we have understood what is big data, let us understand the uses of big data. There are innumerable uses of big data. It helps us in many ways. Let us see the first use of big data, which is location tracking. Big data has been useful in identifying and tracking the exact location of a place. Your GPS and Google Maps make use of big data. With geographic positioning and radio frequency identification, we get the real time data about traffic, congestion on a particular route, information if the route is closed or if one way route is available. It also tells us whether the route is one way or two way, understanding accident prone areas, etc. You can plan your own route according to the travel time and the transportation of goods. If you have ordered something online, you can track the location of your goods in transit. You can also track the condition of goods. This has immensely helped the logistics, the companies to reduce risk in transport, improve speed and reliability in delivery. Hence, big data is extremely useful for location tracking, and location tracking has helped every individual as well as industries to improve their way of living or standards of working. It helps an individual to beat the traffic, and it helps the industries to deliver their goods safely. It also helps everybody to know whether the goods will be transported or delivered in time. Now that we have understood the first use of big data, let us move to the second use of big data. Understanding the weather patterns is the next use of big data. There are weather sensors and satellites set up all around the globe. Huge amount of data is continuously being received from them. They help us to understand the weather and help in the weather forecasting. Weather patterns give us warnings of impending natural calamities like floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, cyclones, etc. Necessary preparations to combat them can be made well in advance. We can study global warming, predict availability of natural resources like water. Hence, big data is extremely useful for understanding the weather patterns. And understanding of weather patterns helps to save lives of people. The weather satellites and the other methods that are used to understand the weather patterns will help each and every individual as well as the government to take necessary steps in order to protect the lives of people from natural calamities. And if we are disaster prepared, no doubt we will be able to save the lives of many. Hence, understanding of weather patterns is extremely important, and big data has helped us in understanding it. The next use of big data is in the healthcare industry. Today, we see that people have become health conscious. The smartwatches, other wearable health apps in our phone keep on collecting data. We can say that they are our own mini biomedical research devices. They detect heart rate, monitor the patient's sleep pattern, keep a record of his exercise, the distance walked, etc. The analysis of this data collected can give new insights and provide a personalized individual feedback to each and every person. Nowadays, we have gadgets to monitor blood sugar, blood pressure, etc. at home. 24 by 7 monitoring can be provided to patients in hospitals too. With the help of the big data, the doctors can now have better diagnosis of any ailment, the effect of any drug, etc. Unnecessary guesswork can be significantly ruled out. Past record of patients can be maintained and better analysis of health can be obtained. Big data helps in monitoring the outbreaks of epidemics and diseases. Just when you post your message, I am down with flu on WhatsApp or Facebook, it will be monitored and the areas affected by flu can be easily located and necessary precautions can be taken. Pharmaceutical companies could pay huge amount to receive the health data of people to promote research in the particular area. With help of data gathered, individuals are often given suggestions and solutions for the problems they are encountering. Hence, big data is extremely beneficial to to the healthcare industry. It helps each and every individual to monitor his own health through various health apps, through smartwatches and other devices. Keeping a track of your heart rate, of your blood pressure, etc., can help us to understand the current condition of our health, and we can take medication accordingly under the guidance of healthcare provider. The analysis of this data is also helpful for the healthcare provider or the doctor. They can review, re review, study it carefully, and accordingly treat the patient. There is no doubt big data has helped in improving the healthcare industry. It has helped each and every individual, each and every healthcare provider to better their facilities. And it has also increased the lifespan of individuals. The next use of big data is in the field of banking, finance, and trading. With the big data analytics, the investment pattern of people can be studied. New insights are enabled for the banks and finance companies to come up with suitable plans. Big data has enabled smooth functioning of these agencies and institutions. Banking and finance sector is using big data to predict and prevent cybercrimes, card fraud detection, archival of audit trails, etc. By analyzing the past data of their customers and the data on previous brute force attacks, banks can predict future attempts. Big data not only helps in predicting cybercrimes, but it also helps in handling issues related to missed transactions and failures in net banking. It can even predict possible spikes on servers so that banks can manage transactions accordingly. The Security Exchange Commission (SEC) is using big data to monitor financial markets for possible legal trades and suspicious activities. The Security Exchange Commission is also using network analysis and natural language processes to identify possible frauds in the financial markets. High frequency trading (HTF) is an area where big data finds a lot of use today. Here, big data algorithms are used to making trading decisions. Today, the majority of equity trading now takes place via data algorithms that increasingly take into account signals from social media networks and news websites to make buy and sell decisions in split seconds. Hence, big data is extremely beneficial in banking and finance trading. It is helpful to prevent all types of crimes, or rather, most of the crimes that take place in cyber section, from the cyber section. Hence, we can say big data is extremely beneficial in banking and finance section. It helps the bankers to keep a track of the cyber crimes. Even the card fraud detection is extremely important use of big data. It has improved our banking and finance. In finance section, it gives us an idea about where to invest. It also helps in trading. No doubt, big data is extremely important today. The next use of big data is in sports section. When watching a cricket match, We are shown so many permutations and combinations of statistical analysis. A gigantic data has been created over a period of time from recording of matches, training sessions, and workout. The data enables a sports person to study his performance as well as that of others, all the players worldwide. It has tremendously helped in improving individual as well as team performance. The sensors embedded in sports equipment help us to understand our game from close quarters. The sensors help us to understand the field condition, the weather, individual performance, etc. Video analytics helps us to see each and every performance minutely. Hence, big data is extremely important part of sports today. No doubt, our sports are improving. Each and every sports person is improving with the help of big data. It helps them to analyze themselves as well as to monitor the other team members, especially their competitors from other teams all over the world. It helps them to understand the style of playing. It helps them to understand various tricks and techniques that the other sports people use. And it also helps them to improvise themselves. It helps them to learn from their mistakes. It helps them to understand where they went wrong. And it also helps them to understand what kind of field they will play on and what kind of decisions they need to take. No doubt, big data is extremely important for the sports person, but we should not overlook the audience. Nowadays, the analytics that is presented on television when we watch sports, it helps it helps common people like us to understand what kind of field the sportsman is going to play on or what were his mistakes. Many a times we give wrong predictions, but big data sometimes might help us to give correct predictions. No doubt, it is extremely important today in the field of sports. The next use of big data is in the field of advertising. Advertisers are one of the biggest players in big data, be it Facebook, Google, Twitter, or any other online giant. All of them keep a track of the user behavior and transactions. These internet giants provide a great deal of data about people to the advertisers so that they can run targeted campaigns. Take Facebook for example. Here, you can target people based on buying intent, website visits, interest, job roles, demographics, and whatnot. All this data is collected by Facebook algorithms using big data analysis techniques. The same goes for Google. When you target people based on clicks, you will get different results. And when you create a campaign for leads, then you will get different results. All this is made possible by using big data. No doubt. Big data is extremely beneficial to advertising industry. It has helped them to target the correct audience, the correct people, and it has been extremely fruitful. The correct audience or the correct people, when targeted, is extremely beneficial to the industry because 90% of them will definitely buy the advertised products. And if they don't buy at that moment, at least they will think of buying it later. The reviews and the content, the uses that are given in advertisement will obviously help the buyers as well as the sellers. Hence, big data is extremely important in the field of advertising. The next use of big data is in the field of entertainment and media. In this field of entertainment and media, big data focuses on targeting people with right content at right time. Based on your past views and your online research, you will be shown different recommendations. This technique this technique is popularly used by Netflix and YouTube to increase engagement and drive more revenues. Now, even television broadcasters are looking to segment the viewers' database and show different advertisements and shows accordingly. This will allow better revenue from ads and will provide a more engaging user experience. No doubt, the entertainment and media industry is benefited from big data. It helps them to gain proper advertisement for proper audience. It helps them to target the audience and show them what they want to see. Based on the number of views, they understand which show is popular and which is not. Accordingly, the TRPs go on increasing. And the analysis of the TRPs help them to understand the popularity of a show. This is also done with the help of big data. The last use of big data, according to this lesson, is in the education industry. Big data has undoubtedly been beneficial to the education industry. It has transformed this industry in leaps and bounds. Now we have information about the students, their study pattern, and we can now prepare customized and dynamic learning programs according to the need of an individual student. Every student's comprehension level is different. The course material can now be designed catering to different requirements of students. Big data makes it convenient to understand their choices, their difficulties, information regarding various courses, and their specialities. We also have an access to the results. From the results, we can gauge the progress of the students, understand their strengths and weaknesses. It also helps in guiding the student regarding the best career for him based on his mental makeup and abilities. An in depth study of all this would definitely give new insights into the education industry and help in improving the operational effectiveness and working of educational institutions. This would, in general, enhance progress of all students. Big data has provided a solution to one of the biggest pitfalls in education industry. That is, size fits all. We have innumerable uses of big data. It is helpful in scientific researches, understanding geographical phenomena, helping in smooth working of government machinery, etc. It is a genie in our hand. It lies in our hand to make optimum use of it for the benefit of mankind and the world. No doubt, big data is extremely beneficial for all of us. With this, we come to the end of today's video. But before I say goodbye to you, let us revise what we studied today. We understood what is big data. Big data was the data collected by various online sources in order to analyze and get an idea about various things. The first use of big data was location tracking. Location tracking helps an individual to beat the traffic. It helps the industries to get a record of the delivery, to get the record of the transported goods, whether the goods are transported sound and safe. The next use of big data was understanding the weather patterns. Understanding of the weather patterns is extremely important in order to save lives of individuals. The recent cyclone Nisarga is an apt example for that. The third advantage or the third use of big data is for healthcare industry. Big data helps the healthcare industry to keep a track of the health of an individual by using various gadgets. The doctors as well as the patients themselves can keep track of their health conditions and accordingly take guidance from the healthcare providers. The next use of big data was in banking, finance and trading. No doubt, banking, finance and trading industry has been helped a lot by big data. It helps them to reduce the number of cyber crimes. Not only this, it helps the traders to get the idea of the market conditions. The next advantage or the use of big data is in the field of sports. When a sports match is going on, we see a lot of analytics there. This analytics helps the audience as well as the sportsmen, especially the sportsmen. They get an idea about what type of game is expected or what type of game is needed to be played in order to win. The next advantage was in the field of advertising. Advertisers are the biggest people to be benefited from big data. It helps them to increase their business by getting the idea of the customers from the internet. The another use of big data is for the entertainment and media industry. The entertainment and media industry reviews the views of the people and accordingly shares the information with the advertisers, and this helps the advertisers to target the correct audience, and it helps the media and entertainment to increase their TRPs. And the last benefit of big data was in the field of education. The education industry is no doubt improving today, and it has been helped by the big data to a great extent. So, this was a short nutshell of what we studied today. I hope you have understood. If you have any doubts, please comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a good day.